Well, hello and welcome to another episode of the Be For Real hashtag Leaders Matter. For those of you all who don't know, I'm Dr. E. Michelle Mickens. I'm the CEO of Live for Change, and I come before you today to focus on the importance of patience. So let me back up a little bit and share with you all that I recently published a podcast, and the podcast was centered around reentry. As we all know, many states are now slowly reopening the economy. They're allowing certain services to go back into full force and begin to initiate some revenue and activity to spur up the economy. And I know some of you all have mixed feelings about this. I, too, have mixed feelings. We know that safety is more important than anything, health over wealth, right? But nevertheless, many states are venturing out to step back into the flow of things or to even create a flow since many things have stopped moving. And so my question to you is, do you have a reentry plan? So I had this conversation and I posted that on my podcast. So I would encourage you to click the link that's going to be in the description bar and take a listen. And if you like it, please do like the video or the podcast and then share it with your community. I think that now, if you're not already having these conversations, now is the best time to start looking at what will life be like for you as a leader and your team when you re-enter your workplace. So that was the conversation, and there were 5 steps, 5 elements that I believe are critical and fundamental when you create this re-entry process. And one I would like to talk to you all about today, and that is the importance of patience. That is something that's overlooked, and many assumptions are made that, we're going to get through this and we're going to be okay. And absolutely, if that is part of your plan and part of your process. But patience is a critical component to achieving whatever it is that you believe is going to be your desired outcome. Understand that, I'm sure you know, nothing is going to be the same. And I'm hoping that you aren't going to be the same when you re-enter your workforce, when you re-enter your place of employment. Some of you all may actually not have to make that kind of a change. Some of you may feel very comfortable and have been enjoying working from home. And perhaps that may be an element to your overall plan that you will keep if you have not been doing so up until this crisis situation. But whatever it is, and however you visualize what the process is going to be like when you re-enter the workforce, I want to encourage you to be patient. Patient must, as the Word of God says in James 1:5, patience must have her perfect work. In other words, perfect means completion. And there's a process that needs to be completed. And so when you are allowing yourself to be patient, you are allowing yourself to understand that's not being inactive, and it's not necessarily waiting, but you are allowing yourself and your team to get reacclimated, and hopefully even allow yourselves to do some reflection on what took place during the crisis. What were some of the new goals and or new processes that were adopted, and then moving forward, what needs to stay and what needs to change. Hopefully, during the whole, I hate to say quarantine life, but while you were isolated, hopefully you had an opportunity to do some mindset shifts so that when you go back into the workforce, you're not going back the same person that you were. My hope is that you will be different. Some people are saying the new normal. However you want to define what you anticipate life to be like whenever things resume, what's going to be different about you? And allow whatever that is, that change, that transition, allow that process to unfold. Don't be so quick to jump back into certain things, right? Be mindful that what used to work may never work again. You don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, and I know that may not be the best analogy. You don't want to get rid of all of your processes, of course, but you want to review your strategic plan and really patiently allow yourself to re-examine and reacquaint yourselves with what is considered the new normal and how are we going to move forward collectively. But it begins with you. It begins with being patient with yourself. So I don't want to belabor this thought process, but I just want to plant the seeds that when you are working on your reentry process, please allow yourselves to be patient. There's some things that has to get recalibrated. There's some things that perhaps needs to be adapted, and you need to fine tune those processes. Whatever it is that you need to do, give yourself permission to work through that, okay? You want to see more success. You want to see more growth. And of course, you want to get into a flow. But understand it's going to be a different flow, and it's going to be new. And you're going to have some people on your team that, quite honestly, they need to be able to see you face to face. They need to be able to, Zoom is great, free conference call, all of those wonderful video tools, video conferencing tools that are available. Absolutely great, especially in the season that we're in. But it's something about being in the same place, in the same space, and being able to express yourself. You want to encourage that, because if you rush too fast to go back to the way things were, more than likely it's not going to work. And you want to be sensitive enough. You want to exercise empathy, right? We're talking that emotional intelligence and social intelligence components. You want to allow that to come into play. Encourage the conversations, because your culture should be different. And I mentioned this in my podcast. This is really the best time to initiate culture change. If nothing else, the whole COVID crisis situation has shaken up business as usual. So be patient with yourself. Be patient with your team. Be patient with the process. You've heard the whole quote, trust the process. Well, I encourage you to do just that. Allow patience to have its perfect play, to come out, to unfold. It's going to be to your benefit. Again, I'm Dr. E. Michelle Mickens. I have several leadership tools and resources available to you that's absolutely free. I'll make sure that link is available along with my podcasts. Perhaps you will enjoy this particular podcast. I've done several that has been focused and centered on leading in a crisis. And so I believe that's going to bless you, encourage you, give you some tips, some tools, some principles that you can utilize as you move forward. Until next time, stay encouraged, and I look forward to hearing from you. Take care. God bless you.